What's the secret to mental toughness? How do you prevent the situation from controlling you? Here's one story from my early days to help you sort that out. One summer while in my early 20s, I went to the Army's Airborne School. It was a 3-week-long course that taught you how to become a paratrooper and jump with a parachute out of a perfectly good airplane. The course had a reputation as being physically demanding. They had to make sure that the graduates were up to the physical standards required of a paratrooper. As a result, every day we ran for 4 or 5 miles in formation through the pre-dawn Georgia humidity while singing cadence. These runs can be tough for some students. A few of them tended to fall behind the formation in the final stretch, something called falling out. The Friday runs were special. If you fell out of a Friday run, you were deemed to be unfit as a paratrooper and you were sent home. So I'll never forget that first Friday. Off we went, same route, same pace, same last mile up the hill headed for home. It was all so familiar. As usual, some of the students were struggling to keep pace, but they were hanging in there, and we were doing our best to encourage them to finish with us. And we topped the hill, the barracks came into sight, the same place we always finished. The cadence was all about going home, almost there. But when we got to the place we always stopped, we kept going. The moment it became obvious we were not stopping, students started dropping off. We may have lost 5 or 6 in the next 100 yards. It was amazing and sad. And then only about 200 yards from our usual stopping point, they finally brought us to a halt. Every one of those people who fell out at the last minute was very physically capable of running just another 200 yards. But they stopped. They quit. What was the difference? Managing their personal expectations. They had it set in their minds that the run would go a certain way, and they depended on that happening. The problem is they had no real control over how far or where we would actually run, and when it changed, they weren't prepared to adapt. One of the keys to mental toughness is staying mentally flexible. Try not to get caught up into a routine or expect things to go in a certain way every time. Expect that things will turn out different from what you expect. That something beyond your control will happen to change things. Know that you're going to have to adapt. Then when it eventually happens, keep your cool. Focus on what your long-term goals are and then figure out a way around those obstacles so you can keep moving. It's like they say, life is 10% of what happens to us, 90% of how we react to it. Life is going to happen. You can't control everything. Whether the run goes longer than you thought, or there's a sudden traffic backup on the highway, or the power goes out in your PowerPoint presentation, you're going to have to deal with it. So focus on what you can control. The key is to manage your personal expectations. Don't let them manage you. Begin every day with the idea that whatever comes, it's going to be fine. Whatever happens, you're going to roll with it. Accept it calmly. Stay focused on your goal and keep moving forward. Good luck. Thanks for watching.